Imagine telling your AI, go research this topic, pull the best sources, and summarize it to me. And it does just that. No babysitting. That's an agent. And today I'm going to show you exactly how it works inside Copilot 365. I asked this research agent to research the top AI skills for the 2026 office worker, took the output and turned it into this little one-pager, and it only took me about 10 minutes. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Sheldon Swanson, technologist and AI expert currently focused in Microsoft AI technologies. Today we're going to be covering agents inside of Copilot 365, specifically some of the built-in agents that are offered by Microsoft by default once you enter in Copilot. So by the end of this video, you should have a good grasp on the difference between chat and an agent, when to use one or the other, and some of the capabilities of the different agents that are actually offered inside of Copilot 365. Before we get started, we need to actually tackle what an agent actually is, though. So by definition, an agent is AI that is able to go perform tasks on your behalf. It just depends on the tools and the different platforms that are connected to that agent in the task that it's able to go do. We can think about chat like having a really smart assistant sitting right next to us at all times. An agent would be like taking that assistant, sending it out on an errand. Meanwhile, we're still left working on the things that we were supposed to be working on, and the agent just brings us back the results. So how does an agent really differentiate from chat? Let's go ahead and jump into Copilot here and take a look. So when I hop into Copilot, over on the left here, you have agents and some of the most recent agents that I've interacted with. If you come click on all agents, it's going to take you over to the agent store, where again, your most recently used agents are up here at the top. In the middle are some built-in agents that are offered by Microsoft. And then down at the bottom middle, you will have built by your org. All the way at the bottom, you will have some featured agents and then more and more agents. There's a ton of agents available in the Microsoft Agent Store. But I'm going to go ahead and click See More over here, because for this video, I would like to focus on at least 3 agents, and we'll start with Researcher. So if you need to know what any agent does, you can come and simply click one of these tiles, and it'll pull up a description, some of the features of this agent, the current version you're on, what that agent is going to have permissions to, the different platforms that it works across, as well as a link to the agent. And we can go ahead and just click Open to start a new chat with that particular agent. So I'm going to go ahead and click Open right here to start a new chat with the research agent. And I have some prompts that are ready to go. So we are going to ask this agent how everyday office workers can use AI to become the most valuable person in the room in 2026, and summarize it tailored to an audience of the average office worker, including the sources where you found the information. So I'm going to simply copy that and paste it in here. Now, before I have it go off and actually research, I want to point out one of the features of this agent in particular that I really like, and that's the ability to come over here to sources and turn them on or off. So down here, you can see you would have Saviva sources, which would be more tailored to information that is offered by your organization. Perhaps you're doing some analytics with Power BI. You could also have it look across Microsoft 365, which would include your Outlook, your OneDrive, pretty much anything that your account has access to, and then the web. We'll go ahead and leave all of them on right now. I shouldn't get any information back from any of these Viva sources, Power BI, or Microsoft 365 for that matter. So this will mostly go ahead and be pulled from the web. Even though I have those connectors turned on, there's just no information behind those connectors that would relate to what this research agent needs to do. So I'm going to go ahead and click Send over here, which you can see the research agent is starting up. And a lot of the time, if the research agent doesn't have all of the information it needs, it's going to come back and it's going to ask me a couple of questions, which it looks like it's doing now. So it's asking me to make sure it covers exactly what I need. What is the scope? So for the scope, I'm going to simply say day-to-day office work, AI tools, I will say Microsoft 365, Copilot 365, and the output shape, I'll say concise executive style summary with bullets and examples. And then it's also asking me right here, how long do I want this report? Now, the research agent can actually take a really long time, so I'm going to go ahead and click short right here, because even clicking a short report, it's probably going to take this agent about 10 minutes or so to actually go out, research everything, pull the sources, and then summarize it all in a nice executive style summary for me with bullets and examples. I also want to highlight that we've given the agent now multiple things to do. It's to go out and research for us, pull the best sources, and then summarize it in a concise executive style summary with bullets and examples. That's 3 different things that the agent needs to do. So with short picked, and by specifying all the questions that it had, I'm going to go ahead and let the agent go off and research, do its thing. Now, the entire time the agent's working right here, you're going to see little statuses pop up on what the agent's actually doing in the background. But the nice thing is we don't need to sit here and babysit this agent. We can go work on other things if we want to. So while this agent's off doing the research, let's go ahead and come back to all agents and come back to our agent store. We'll click down to see more, and we will go ahead and click the Analyst Agent. Again, it pops up telling us a little description about the agent, version, features, what it works across. Let's go ahead and click Open. To really show off the Analyst Agent, though, we're going to need some data sets. So I had Copilot produce me some dummy data, which is simply the budget of a fictitious person for the year. Everything they spent their money on, it looks like the person's name is Alex Johnson, and it was their 2024 budget. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to add that data just to show you real quick how much data is actually in here. I believe there was somewhere around like 500 lines, just an absurd amount that you wouldn't want to manually go through and analyze line by line. And in fact, yes, it's 560 lines of data that are in this CSV file. So now I'm going to go ahead and click Add Content. We'll do Upload Images and Files. Here's my agents directory, Alex Johnson's budget. I'll go ahead and open that. And then I still need to give it a prompt. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste the prompts that I have ready over here. And we're going to ask this agent to analyze the budget data and tell me where I'm overspending, what trends you see, and give me the 3 recommendations to save money. And that'll all be accomplished by the Analyst Agent. So I'm going to go ahead and click Go. Now, this agent is actually really cool because it's able to work across large data sets, and it's like having a data analyst sitting right next to you at all times. Again, you're going to see a bunch of stuff happening here in the background, but it's really nothing that you need to be concerned with. It's just calling some different Python code and actually analyzing the data like a real data analyst would. So while that's running, let's go ahead and check back in on our office work, our research agent. And we can still see it's still out there researching. So let's come back to our analysis agent, and you're going to see this also is about to take a while, but I now have 2 agents running 2 completely different tasks at the same time, and I'm free to do whatever I want. So while these 2 agents are running, let's go ahead and come back to all agents, and we will stand up our 3rd agent, which we will say we'll go ahead and do the career coach. Again, a little description about it, the version that it's on, the features, the permissions. I'll go ahead and click Open right here. And for this one, I am not going to use myself because this is Copilot and it has access to my 365 profile. It already knows what I do for a living, so this is going to be a very tailored output for me specifically. Very nice feature if you're in Copilot and has access to your profile, because you don't need to provide it that information. But instead, I'm going to look some stuff up for my students. I do teach college part-time, and they're always asking me how to get jobs, how to land an entry-level job, but it's been a really long time since I've been in an entry-level job. So what I'm going to say is I'm a college professor who wants to help my students grow their career, but I'm not sure what to tell them to focus on for entry-level roles since they have changed so much. Give me the current trends, what would be the top 5 things to tell my students to work on, I should be more specific, for an entry-level role in the tech field. And now we'll go ahead and let this agent go off. Now we have a total of 3 agents doing 3 completely different tasks, all independent of each other. Let's go ahead and check in on our research agent really quick. And it looks like our research agent is finally done. It's stopping generating over here. Now, I kind of caught it right there when it's still stopping generating. If I hadn't caught it, it does send a notification saying, hey, this AI agent is currently complete with whatever task that you gave it, and it'll show up. See, you can actually see it showed up as new activity right there. So as soon as it's done, it will show up as a new activity. Seems like it's a little stuck at stopping generating, so I'm gonna just click out of that real quick for a new chat, click right back in it and see if that has actually corrected itself. And it has, because what I wanted to say is it gave me the bullets, the examples, and all of the information that I wanted. But what I can do here is, one, see all the sources, but I'm gonna come over and convert this to a Word document. Now this also takes couple of minutes. Actually, that was pretty quick compared to some of the demos that I've done previously. So we'll go ahead and click Open Word to open up the Word document, and it is automatically going to open it. In the web version of Word. Now, me personally, I don't like working on the web version of Office products. I just am used to the desktop experience. So I'm going to come to the top right here, click Editing and Open in Desktop. And we'll just go ahead and click Try Again. Actually, I'll hit Continue here because that was a false error. The page just popped up for me, so I'll close that. And pull over the desktop version of what Copilot spit out. So these are the results from Copilot, the research that it did, including all of the sources, a couple of bullet points, but this doesn't look very visually appealing to me. It's still all kind of clumped together, and that's a whole lot of information that it needs to read. So now I'm going to leverage a different agent, or at least the Copilot agent that's inside Word, and I'm going to now say, can you clean this up to be a one-pager that I can email out to the average office worker. Make sure it is beneficial to them in their roles as general office employees. Make sure the content does not exceed 1 page. Do not include the sources in the 1-pager. And now I'm going to let this Copilot agent in Word go and do its thing to clean up the results that I got from my research agent, which I've now exported into a Word document. So I'm going to leave this here to go ahead and do its own thing. And then we will come back over here and check in on the remainder of our agents. I haven't got a notification yet, so who knows if these are actually done. This is our analyst agent. Oh, I'm sorry, that's our research agent. It just went up on my conversation hierarchy. Looks like my analyst agent is done. And here you can see it's analyzed over all of that data, given me my pressure points in the spending. It's showing me that subscriptions, it's costing me an awful lot, entertainment, Amazon. But a really cool feature about this analyst agent is if we keep going down, it usually gives visuals and trends of the data over a specific amount of time. So we can see towards the end of the year here, spending went up more than likely to prepare for the holidays. But it broke everything down by categories, gives us bar graphs, really anything that we want. And again, you don't have to leave it right here. You can come down to the bottom, click these 3 dots, export this to Word, or you can come up and right-click, save the image as, and include it in a report if you need to. Whatever it is that you want to do with the output of this data. I also would like to note that the references for everything that it's talking about is the data set that I gave it from Alex Johnson's budget. I think I noticed something, and that is that we lost the career coach agent. Using AI to excel in Office. We did. Did I not hit send? It's no big deal. I'll just go ahead, and this is why I pre-prepped these prompts. Punch that back into our career coach. Make sure that it actually kicks off. Okay, now it says lining things up. That should go ahead and work a little bit better for us. I'm going to go ahead and close this example that I had here. I don't need to save it. And here's the one that we're working on. Let's see if Copilot is done. And look at that, it looks like it is. So now I have everything in a nice little one-pager. It's consolidated all of the data. It doesn't look all that appealing right now, which is where you still have to come in with your human skills and massage the final product to get it to where you would actually want it to be. So I could come over to design, for example, change the page color, and I'll go ahead and go with something super dark. And then I'm gonna go ahead and say up here, add a header, come over to drop down, we'll go ahead and give it a title, center it, and say, become an AI Office Pro in 2026. Heck, I'll even highlight that, make it bold, change the font if I want, and then I'm going to double click out of the header if it'll actually let me. And I'm actually going to let Copilot go at this again because it just starts with bullet points, and I would like it to have more of a, we have the title at the top, I would like to see more of a heading, maybe a table format, and so that's what I'm going to tell Copilot. I just altered the background color and added a header. Can you take another look at the content? I don't like how we have bullets starting with no header and a giant paragraph at the end. Please structure the document so that it is visually appealing. And we'll go ahead and actually give it a shot at that one real quick because I think it might actually correct itself on that. But if you saw my video on prompts, this is where going over and iterating over some of your prompts is actually not the worst idea because, as you can see, I didn't get the answers that I wanted or the results that I wanted right away. Rather than scrap the whole thing, I'm just going to have Copilot take another stab at it. But before I actually have let Copilot loose on the document, I changed a few things. I gave it a full background color, which kind of starts more of a theme, and I gave it a title. It seems like it's adding some headings in here. It's still lining things up. So while it does that, let's go ahead and check back over to our career coach agent. And you can see it has spit out a couple of really good talking points along with the sources. And again, I can come down here, I could copy the whole thing, export it to Word, do whatever I want with it. Now the last thing that we have is to actually finish up this one-liner, one-pager, my apologies, and it took away all of our bullets. Okay, so now I'm going to give it another task, and what I'm going to do this time is, again, just massage it a little bit more to my liking. And I'm going to make that heading just a little bit bigger. And I'll center it, make it bold, and then give it a color that really showcases it. Okay. And I'll say under the header, include a table with no borders to put our bullet points in. Make sure it is centered on the page and takes up the page. Finally, have a summary sentence or two at the bottom outside the table. And I'm going to let it go off and do that. While it's doing that, I'm actually going to come to my layout and increase my margins just a little bit to have narrow margins. Just matches up more with what you would see on a one-pager. So now it still has access to the information we originally had in here, but I'm going to ask it to take this, make it a bunch of bullet points so that it's a little more visually appealing, because it kind of blew away all of my data. And that's fine. If this happens, it happens from time to time. Sometimes you don't always get the results you want. You can just come right back over to all conversations. Oh, it looks like it took it away from me. It's the one we want. Research. There we are. And you could just open this in Word again, start all over, start fresh. But let's go ahead and check out where our Copilot agent is at. And honestly, it kind of screwed us a little bit. So I don't like this one. I would probably start over and try and recreate this again. There's a little bit you could do as far as it doesn't look like it's doing a good job at setting the information apart. So I'm going to go ahead and just do some of that. Enter it. I think it took too much of the information away. So to see if I can't salvage this really quick, I am going to come up and I will copy this whole thing and say, can you fill in our one-pager with some highlights and bullet points from this information from an agent. Make sure it fills the entire page, is visually appealing, and takes up one page and one page only. This is going to be the last chance I'm going to give it to actually salvage itself. So come in here, and I just pasted everything that was in the output of the research agent. So it might take Copilot a little bit more time again, just because it's got a lot to sift through, but we can see it's working right now. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. There's really not much we need to do in Copilot anymore in case it doesn't actually finish up the one-pager we would like in the way we would like it. So let's give it a shot here, see what it actually comes up with. Oh, don't kill all of the data. If this kills all of the data that I just gave it, I'm going to be pissed. But it looks like it's reviewing it, so that's good. Okay, full disclosure, when I first tried to export the Word document and kind of massage it using Copilot to get a new one-pager, it didn't work out the way that I wanted to, so I'm going to be attempting this a second time to get more of the results that I got when you first actually saw the video. So I'm going to go ahead and convert it back to Word and export a fresh copy. Open in Word, which then opens it in the web version of Word, and I'm going to export to the desktop version just because that's the version that I like. So now I'm going to come to Copilot and say, can you turn this into a one-pager to communicate to office workers what they should be focused on AI-wise in 2026. Make sure it fills the entire page and no more than one page. Make it visually appealing and interesting to read. Now I'm just going to go ahead and give that information over to Copilot in Word. It is then going to go through the entire document, clean it up, Ah, dang it, I forgot to tell it not include the sources, and it can be kind of stubborn on that. No big deal. It's already actually getting to work on me, which is really good. But sometimes this can take a while, so I'm going to go ahead and let Copilot do its thing, and we will be right back once it's completed with its changes to the document. Okay, we are back, and Copilot just finished up making all of its changes to our one-pager Word document. Let's come down here. It doesn't look like it kept everything on one page for me, but I love the layout that it gave this one a lot better. So I'm going to come in and massage this a little bit first before I have Copilot take another crack at it. So I'm just going to do some really simple Word techniques like copying that, and we'll go ahead and just place that in the header over there. Double click it, and let's go ahead and center that, which allows us to then come out of the header and delete that section. That probably still didn't get us anywhere close. That is fine. Let's go ahead and click the entire page, and we will make everything just a tad bit smaller. Let's go ahead and center this at the top. How much closer did that get us? Not very. But we have a lot of space over here on our left. So I don't know if this is what Copilot meant to do. I love what it did with these first 4 blocks in here. So I'm going to ask it, actually before I have it ask that, I am going to come in and change my layout, my margins. I'm going to make them narrow, and I'm going to give the entire page a solid color because this is in fact a layout. I'm sorry, a one-pager. So now I'll come back and I'll say, can you clean up some of the content so it evenly fills the page and only takes up a single page. So now it's going to give it another shot at it. This is where I am going and reiterating over what I just went through with Copilot. So I'm going to go ahead and let it do its thing again, and we will be back once it has finished up. Okay, we are back, and Copilot has finished up the changes that it needs to make to the document. And can't tell, it looks like all of this is just highlighted, so I'm going to go ahead and click Done right there. And I actually don't mind how this turned out. It looks much better than it did. I'm going to go ahead and just add a space in here. AI focus. Okay, we don't need it doubled. Copilot has some weird access to the headers and footers issues that it can't actually write in the headers or footers itself. I'm not sure about that one. But I'm going to just evenly space this out a little bit. And I'm actually going to come over here and do that. Let's go ahead and center what it gave us for the bottom. Looks like I went a little too far, but I'm just going to take this, copy it, and let's put this in our footer, which I think looks a lot better. And then we'll leave the footer and delete that information, looking much better. Come down here, and I'll bet you this just needs a remove spacing after. Nope. Just a little bit of cleanup of the document, and I'm sure we would be good to go. That one doesn't want to go down for me, so I would just, oh, I can see what's going on here. This is all a single table for me. But as you can see, this is not the prettiest one-pager that you could send out, but I really didn't have to do much work in order to get my final product to where it is right now. Just moving some things around a little bit, changing the font, changing the size of things. Like I could even just come in here and make this just a little bit bigger, and now it takes up the full size of the page. So it's a matter of kind of coming in and working with AI to get the results that you want. I would have a lot more work that I would want to do on this one pager, but for right now, for our demo, I don't think that that's too bad, especially considering I really didn't write any of that or do the layout. I just put a couple of things in the headers and footers, moved things around a little bit, centered a couple of sentences, no big deal. So that wraps up everything that we are going to be covering as far as AI agents inside of Copilot 365. So we have covered the research agent, the analyst agent, as well as the career coach agent. We learned that Copilot's not always going to get it right, but that's not the point of AI. That's a feature of AI. The fact that it can be wrong and it will be wrong sometimes, that's what makes AI actually more powerful. Kind of difficult to explain, but that gives it its ability to think, its ability to reason, if you will. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel so that you can get updates when I do release new videos. The next video I plan on doing will be covering notebooks in Copilot 365, which happens to be one of my all-time favorite features of Copilot. So I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much.